Can you, everyone who does know your story, can we just start from the beginning? Like, tell us where you were at, why you joined the business, why you got started, why we're all here, because you stuck it out, and just let everyone know kind of where you came from, please.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me? No? Shall I take that one? I'll take this one up. Okay. I'll take it. Let's do that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so firstly I feel a little bit emotional just from like the reaction. I was like, oh god, she's starting crying already. But yeah, started from the bottom, now we're here, right? And that's literally how I feel about my story. So I found out about Juice Plus on Facebook. There's a lady called Katie Raby. I just had a baby. She was, well, this is in the July, so she was like 5 months old, 4 months old, home on March, April, May, June, July, 4 months old. I told you I'm brilliant at maths. And wanted to lose some baby weight. I found this before and after picture that my cousin had liked because Katie's brother was friends with my cousin. Rick was tagged in the picture. You know, like you never know on Facebook how far your pictures are going to travel. So I messaged Katie and said like, oh, what's this product? Couldn't afford it, but I was desperate to make something more of how I was feeling. So mum's in the room, I have to have a baby. I've got all this to come again. You feel a bit about your body, and I just split up with Sienna's dad, so I felt even more like, oh my god, worthless, literally self-esteem on the floor, and I wanted to change something to make myself feel better. Anyone else relate to that? Yeah, it's not a nice feeling, it's not a nice place to be. And I started taking the shakes, and they changed my life. Like, I used to wake up, watch Jeremy Kyle, you know as you do, dip biscuits into tea, sugary tea, eat crap, feel crap, go out for lunch, eat more crap, spend money I didn't have. And the shakes just changed everything for me. They made me understand food a bit more. I stopped drinking so much Diet Coke. I used to drive Katie Raby mental, messaging her saying, can I have Diet Coke? She was like, no, I told you yesterday, you still want that today. And I lost 10 pounds of baby weight in 2 weeks, and I started to build my confidence. And it's scary actually how much weight can really affect how you feel, but it really, really can. When your jeans don't do up, it actually makes you want to lie on the floor and cry. And even when you try and lie on the bed and pull them out of a coat hanger, they still won't go up. Like, you just want to cry even more and not want to go out. So the shakes definitely changed my life. When the business opportunity was offered to me, it was like a no-brainer. Why would I not want to share this with everyone? I'm going to be telling my whole story. Yeah. I went on holiday. My parents took me and Sienna away to Italy, and I wore a bikini and I thought I looked amazing. When I look back, I cringe a little bit. But I was so proud that I just had a baby and I could wear a bikini. And I used to go down to the internet cafe every day and process orders, and I hit STD in my first month. And because of that, it meant I could pay all my own rent. And that was like a really big moment for me because it gave me independence. So when someone takes your independence away from you, it's like someone's taking your breath away. When you have to rely on someone else. When you have to rely on someone else giving you something to be able to do basic things, it's really tough. So my mum and dad having to put their hand in their pocket and say, here's the rest of your rent money because your benefits don't make it. It's really hard. So be able to say to them that month, I don't need you to pay the money, even though they still did. They still paid it for me and they left me to have that money. That's like a really big deal. So that was like the moment that solidified for me that this business was going to change my life. When I was pregnant with my daughter, my uncle died, bless him, and he said to me, Emma, what have you done? Like, you went to uni, you're a smart girl, you're always my bright star, and you had a baby, and like, what's going to happen now? You're going to be another statistic. And I remember thinking, I'm going to prove you wrong. And it was when I got that first check that I realised that I could one day be able to say to my uncle, wherever he is, like, I'm still that bright star, and like, your circumstances do not define you. And it's something that's really, really important for everybody to remember. Circumstances mean absolutely nothing. So anyway, I was trying to stop crying. So, hit my first promotion. Me and my cousin wanted to take over Katie, that was our plan. We thought we could sell more shakes than her. I don't think we ever did. I signed up a lady called Charlotte Rigby, who's an amazing woman in the business. She was my second distributor and she's still in the business with me now. And we built a social media business up to national marketing director. Never would I have spoken at an event. never would I have hosted anything. Never would I have got that far out my comfort zone. Like, I literally did everything on social media. Tag people, I did it all wrong. Tagged 100 people in a before and after picture. Add fat girls on Facebook. That's what we used to do. We did it wrong at the beginning, but we learned along the way, and we helped people along the way too. Got to National Marketing Director with an incredible team, and my dad finally realised that it's not a pyramid scheme, and it was that little thing that I was doing on the side that my mum bought capsules for because she felt sorry for me. And my dad used to say, oh yeah, she's making a bit of pin money on the side. Like, that was making a real massive impact on my life. I earned over 10 grand in a month after being in this business 11 months. I was benefit free. I had plans to move out of my council house. I bought my toaster and kettle, which is all I ever wanted, and now I don't even bloody eat toast. And it literally was like the moment. I remember jumping up and down in my back garden with my mum. I had this ugly green dress on, glass of champagne, even though I don't even like it, and I went for mum to buy pins, and she didn't. And going National Marketing Director, and I knew I'd done it. I'd hassled Simon all day, like, I've done National Marketing Director, and he was like, Emma, just wait for the phone call. And I was like, but I've done it. And he was like, just wait for the phone call, please, Emma. I was like, okay. So National Marketing Director was a really massive moment for me. We went to a meeting with Dan and Sven, like our CEO and our Vice President, and they said they're bringing out some new positions. We were like, oh my God, what? And I remember going home to my dad going, I'm going to get 40 grand worth of bonus in 1 month. And my dad was like, what? We were going through it, and I remember my dad saying, be careful, like, just be careful, don't get too excited. Went to the Nice Convention as a Presidential Marketing Director. Sinead joined my business at this point. Some amazing other ladies in my business obviously helped along the way to grow this huge momentum that we've built up. Went on stage, jumped up and down, and couldn't believe what the hell was going on in my life. I took the pinnacle position of a business. I've been on stage and spoken in front of people without crying. I managed to go on stage and not say thank you to one single team member. I literally went on and was like, oh my God, I didn't say thank you. Not because I didn't want to say thank you, just because when you get on stage sometimes you just go, there's 3,000 people, wow, what do I say? Had the most amazing experience. And have any of you guys watched the Gen Y video? Yeah? So the Gen Y video was recorded on that trip in Nice, and it was the most amazing few days of my life. And at that point, my mum, when I came home, my mum was like, what the hell are you guys doing? Because it looks like so much fun. And that was another really important moment in the business for me. So if I just fast forward, so I've been in the business nearly 4 years now. I use a mix of social media, events. I go to my own events, obviously. I go to my team's events. We went for a stage doing events every day of the week, every week of the year. Like, I remember flying back from the Maldives. I took my family away for Christmas to say thank you for their support, because literally without my mum and dad I wouldn't be able to do this business. I have a little girl, I'm a single parent, and without them I would not be able to do this business. So I took them away to the Maldives for the most amazing 10 days of our life, came back. There's a little story from the Maldives, and Sienna tells it all the time, and I'm not sure if she remembers it or she just heard it so many times, that we were swimming in the sea, and I was probably sunbathing, my brothers were playing with her, and I just saw a fin going past, and I was like, is that shark? And there's these little baby sharks swimming along in the water, and I was like, oh my God, safe as anything, so it's fine. And I saw a stingray, and I was like, get out of the water now! And Sienna tells the story all the time, she's like, get out of the water! But that's what this business is about, like memories. How amazing that my 2-year-old at the time knew what a stingray was in the water, had to run out, but still remembers that story, and that's what this business can do. So yeah, over the 4 years that I've been in this business, my mum's been able to give up her full-time job. I now have over 40 national marketing directors in my downline. How amazing is that? I think we're on our 9th 100 Club member, 10 presidential marketing directors, and these are women who are changing their lives every day, like watching other people have their life change, or knowing that Charlotte Rigby was able to support her partner while he was going through the worst time, and which ended so awfully, but she was able to do that, and her business was still there behind her to support her. That's what's amazing about this business. Knowing that Sinead and Lee got to spend every moment with Madison that they wanted. Sometimes you want to break tears, okay? You know, like, that's amazing about this business. So yeah, my life's changed. My mum gave up her full-time corporate career. She's now a national marketing director. My daughter has a life that she doesn't even understand how lucky she is. She got on a plane the other day and went, Mum, there's no bed. And I was like, no bed yet. And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I had the opportunity to go and live in Jamaica for 3 months. I obviously met like the man of my dreams, and none of that would have been possible. Yeah, I know, right? I miss him so much. None of that would have been possible without this business. The freedom. It's not just the money. The money's great. The money gives you choices. The money gives you the independence. That's what used to take my breath away. When the benefits, people knocked at the door and asked to come and do an inspection to see if I was eligible for a grant. That's horrible. It's the most degrading thing I've ever felt in my life, I think. So the freedom and so to be able to say, if I want to, I can. Yeah, thanks. I'll make my own choice. That's what's powerful about this business. Being able to spend 3 months in the sun with my little girl, being able to create the most amazing memories. I'm flying to Jamaica on Wednesday, and the midwife told me, "You're not flying, are you?" I was like, no, of course not. I'm going on Wednesday because I can, because I want to, and because I need to. And this business has given me that freedom, and I'll always be so grateful for it. And there have been ups and downs along the way, and I've stamped my feet and said, I fucking hate this business and I never want to do it. But like, I'll never be so grateful for a company that supported me through so much, for a team that's worked so hard, and for something that has enabled me to live a life that some people just could never even dream of. So massive thank you.
So I have a couple of questions for you. Not with this is a property questions. I want to follow on what you were saying. So how does it feel knowing that if you hadn't have spoken to Charlotte and if you hadn't spoken to Carly, that things wouldn't have maybe not have been as big? Like not as big. Like obviously there are so many people in your business, but if it was one of those things that you didn't have that conversation with someone and then they didn't join the business, and obviously your business never grew, how does it feel thinking that if you hadn't had that conversation, you wouldn't be where you are now?
It's like me and Charlotte had like a weird relationship because we're very similar. We both got really used to have, and probably still have somewhere deep down, really weird relationship with food. We both did at the beginning. We really struggled with shakes, really struggled with dieting. We both had done every crash diet, unhealthy thing you can imagine. So we built our relationship based on being a bit messed up, I think, which lots of people seem to do in this business. And I remember the conversation where I said to her about joining the business, and I was like, it's just so much fun. And she was telling me about boot camp that she was going to run with Dean, and that they were going to sell shakes together. And I was like, oh my God, a boot camp, thinking they're going to do this thing in the hills, you know, like off in the hills, and people are going to stay in bunks and you stay there for a week. No, boot camp was a gym class you went to once a week, but I didn't have no idea. But I remember that conversation, so thinking that relationship has formed for a reson. Like everything happens for a reason. You meet people in this business for a reason. You had a conversation with Sally at your sister's wedding or wherever it was for a reason. Yep. You're meant to come into people's lives for a reason. So Carly fell in love with Katie on Facebook. She saw a picture on Facebook. She was like, oh my God, who is this woman? Messaged Katie, and at the time Katie was so busy, so Carly messaged me as well, and we'd had a brief conversation. But the relationship with Carly started with Katie, and then me and Carly built that relationship. She's got the most phenomenal business. Like Carly's got an amazing business, and she's just started this 7-Eleven club. And you just think those messages that you might not bother to reply to, or that time you might not give to someone, could be the next person that's going to change your life and change theirs. So it's almost like the fear of loss is what needs to drive you in this business. So in those moments of when I wanted to give up, I remember saying to my mum, I'm not giving up, because I tell you what, I don't want to look back in 5 years' time and then ascend as a millionaire, and I'm not. And that was my fear of loss. I didn't want to look back and think, oh my God, what if? What if I'd kept going? What if I spoke to that person? So that annoying customer that messages you and asks you so many ridiculous questions was probably who I was to Katie, but she persevered with me. So just through the fear of loss, like, don't stop, because you never know who the next Sinead Kavanagh is, who the next Charlotte Rigby is, you know, you never know. So yeah, does that answer it?
Yeah, completely. Does that guys make sense? Yeah. Fear of loss is huge. Like, it's just crazy. There was a girl actually in my team this week who was like, I'm just not really, I can't really do this. And I was like, okay. And then she said one of her customers, about an hour later, she messaged me again. She was like, one of my customers has just sent me some before and after pictures. She loves the product. I was like, have you ever asked her to join the business? And she was like, oh God, I'm back. And I was like, you left an hour ago. And she, again, having doubled her business in about 20 minutes, and it's mad, but if she didn't ask, you never get. And if you never asked Charlotte, how business would be there, she wouldn't have had that situation with Dean. If you never asked Sally, and Sally never asked me, half the room wouldn't be here. Like, it's mad, isn't it? But it's just thinking about that person that you didn't ask. You never know where it can take you. Anyway, back to you, not me, not my show. What's your goal now? What's your vision now? Obviously, you've got baby due in a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping you're going to relax for a bit, take some time out. What's your next goal?
So I think the business is amazing and I love it, and I've grown and worked with my team enough that I'm able to take some time out, because that's what it's about, right? It's like freedom. So I'm gonna. I'm going to take off till the Birmingham convention after I've had the baby, to have some like proper family time, try and get used to having a husband living in my house. Oh Jesus, God help me. And having a new baby and getting used to new family dynamics. And like, how great is that I've got a business that I run myself, that I'm able to do that. However, I know myself very well, and I'm sure within about 4 weeks I'll be like, right, so when's the next event? That's just me. But some time out. I've set some new goals for myself. So I want to earn £1 million in a year. So I want to earn, I think it's like £80,000 a month. 83. She knows. So I want to earn £1 million in a year. And I want to bring some new goals forward. Like, I want to work with mums. And so we're going to release this new brand, Millionaire Mum Movement, and I want to work with mums that need it. Do you know what I mean? There's so many women out there that need this business, and there's so many women that don't get offered this opportunity. And so I want to be working with those mums and saying, do you know what, I remember what it's like. So there was a woman that messaged me not that long ago. She just left her husband, and I don't actively encourage people to leave their husbands, but you know, if you're unhappy and you want to make a change and you want to be independent, and you know what that taking your breath feeling, I can relate to you, and I can help you do what I did. And if you want to work hard, and then everybody can have this. It's not just for a few, it's for so many. And I remember when National Marketing Director was what we all wanted to achieve, it still is, right? But now there's so many people achieving it. There's like PMDs, like the new thing that you want to hit, and now there's 100 club members, and they're just 2-3 last month. Do you know what I mean? People know how to work this business. It's a simple process. It's just about, I just want more women. Sorry, man, but I just want girls around the world. That's literally how I feel. And when the Millionaire Club came out in Marrakesh, and I spoke to Dan afterwards, and he said, just imagine that little piece of the world that you can change. And it's really cheesy, but I'd love to know that at the end of my days, I can look back and think, oh my God, there's so many women's life that changed because of what we did. And it sounds really cheesy, but that's literally what I want to do.
Please give a massive round of applause, and again, another uproar, because that was incredible. I hope you guys sit from now. I'm like emotion. I'm glad you picked for as well. Thank you. So, massive